Hey guys, it's August 15th of 2017 and I am 2 years post-op with radio forearm free flap phalloplasty with Dr. Curtis Crane and Dr. Chen in San Francisco, California. So I just did an update on the rod and implants and just going to do a brief summary in case you're watching me for the first time. If you've been following me all along, then this may not be of any new information for you except for maybe some philosophy. So real quick, I underwent 8.5 hours of surgery, and I woke up that night, was totally uh, alert and without pain. I spent the next 5 days just on my back. The smell was very, very terrible. I did the worst part of the whole surgery was laying in that hospital bed. And it wasn't just because I couldn't move or anything. It's because it was August, it was hot, and I was sweating. And the nurses only gave me 1.5 baths. And as modest as I am, I needed to be bathed a little bit more than that. So that was my only complaint. Second of all, I did not hit the morphine pump. I did not need it. I did start waking up with a headache the next day and asked for Tylenol, and I just stayed with Tylenol. The nurse did inform me when they came in to take off the wrap off my arm and also the plastic wrap that was vacuumed onto my leg. She did inform me to hit the pump because it can be very painful. So real quick, for those who are just researching phalloplasty, they took the donor site from my arm and they took a skin graft and put it over this so that all the flesh and stuff would not fall apart. So basically, it's vacuum packed on my arm, and I've had no issues. When I first came out of surgery, I immediately started doing this. I started moving my fingers and my thumbs. I constantly was doing this. Even my mom made the comment that she said, you have done nothing but move that hand. And I said, I do not want any problems with this hand. So I am restricted on it. It confines me because it's vacuum packed to my arm. So when I go to turn like this, it's constricting right in here. It doesn't give like your other arm. You see the skin just gives, it moves. So that once in a while is an issue for me, only because I'm claustrophobic. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll run and put lotion on it, and it just kind of gives a little with it, I guess. Or maybe it's just a mental thing for me, I don't know. I healed really well in all sites, even my incision sites. I did overwalk one day and caused the end of the vagectomy incision to open up. And so when I got to start finally peeing, what would happen is the urine would go out the backside too. So Dr. Crane said to sit back down on the toilet and plug that while I pee. So I was still peeing through the phallus, but I had to plug that. That took a few weeks to heal, but it did heal. I had a couple little tiny holes behind the scrotum, like probably in the vagectomy incision, but they did not leak. They healed up within no time. I sent pictures to Dr. Crane, and he always was very quick at responding to me and ordering me something if he needed to or whatever. But basically, he was never concerned about any of the holes. I think we freak out because it's our body and we don't want to have anything, wrong with it or cause some more damage or cause damage, period, to the, excuse me, stop, Aspen. They always do this. I did I did a video earlier, and they were asleep. I should have just kept it, but I wanted to include my hand. I keep forgetting to, or my arm. So anyway, let's get back to that. So the hospital stay was the worst. Not that the nurses were bad or anything. It's just being in that bed, sweating, the smell of blood, and I could never handle the smell prior of any kind of blood, and it just was gross for me. I guess that's why I felt I should have had more baths. But anyway, once I got back to the house and my sister started helping me, I thought I could do things on my own. I could not. I could not take a shower by myself or wash, sponge bathe by myself. I just couldn't reach areas. I couldn't bend over enough to reach areas. I was too concerned about keeping the phallus elevated like he asked me to. So she bit the bullet. I mean, she knew she was going to do it. That's why I asked her to go. But I was really trying not to have my sis, have to do that. But she did. And I'm very appreciative of that. So, basically, I would just get up every day and walk around. I'd carry the catheter bag and just walk around. And I was very fatigued for the first few weeks. I didn't have a lot of endurance. I made sure that they asked me to keep him warm. Put a extra blanket over him or a towel or something, and I did, and he still to this day is very warm. Yes, I do call him him. But slowly things healed up, and I got better, and I got more independent, and once they took the catheter out, and I could stand to pee, and I didn't have any issues standing and peeing, or peeing out the phallus period. I started, of course, bathing myself and all that stuff. So actually the first probably week she helped me out, and then after that I was pretty much independent. But the dressing on the arm just kept looking good. But my arm, I'm going to put pictures at the end. Hopefully you guys can see it better. But when they did the skin graft on it, usually they put it long ways, and you can't see a crease. Mine, they went this way. And I don't know if it's because of this site right here. I had a ganglion cyst removal, and as you can see, scar tissue built up on that real fast. And I have a nurse friend, and she told me to massage it. I massaged the hell out of it, and it still didn't go down. But I don't know if it was because of that area that they did these skin grafts this way. Dr. Crane did choose to do the glandoplasty at a later time because of that area. So 3 weeks post-op, I had glandoplasty in his office, and it was very sterile. I didn't get any infections from it, and he actually was accommodating me and my time and my money because I couldn't afford to stay later. They are really good. Dr. Chen's leaving, but he's staying with the trans community, and I'm just very thankful because we tend to really... It's so important to us that the least little thing that happens, we're bad-mouthing people, or we're bad-mouthing doctors. If they are not giving us answers, or if they are telling us they can't do any more for us, or that our bodies reacted this way. There are some people who don't want to be accountable if they didn't follow pre-op instructions to a T. Sometimes, I had a guy comment on my rod, my update just here a few weeks ago, that, basically shit happens sometimes, and there's no fault at anybody, and that doctors do have bad days, and I agree with him totally. But I also know that in this surgery, the phalloplasty surgeries, you have got 6 and 7 doctors. Some of them are resident doctors. They're learning, it's a micro team. They've done it long enough to know if a doctor's missing a step or a doctor is not right on his game, I think they look out for each other. And so sometimes it just happens, just like in life. You don't ask to have an accident like me and be disabled at 45 years old and be limited physically of what you can do, even though you look 100% physically able to do anything. Um, Things happen in our lives, and I always have looked at these things as a stepping stone into a direction that I did not foresee coming, but I make the best out of it. And that's what I've done with my own situations in life. I did not have a phalloplasty issue, but I did have a life-changing issue with my workers' comp injury that I acquired. So, you know, it depends on the person. I've heard a lot of bad mouthing about Dr. Chen, and frankly, you got to take it for what it is. If you don't know these people that are bad mouthing him and, suing him or whatever, or Dr. Crane, there's lawsuits. Well, of course there's going to be lawsuits in the medical field, because people, if it doesn't turn out the way they want, or if they don't follow the pre-op instructions and things happen, complications happen afterwards, then yes, they're going to blame somebody. There's a lot of people who don't take accountability for their own actions. And so therefore doctors carry a malpractice insurance for that reason, but it does not admit to them guilt of the said accusation. They are very gifted men, women. Now women are into the phalloplasty. They're urologists first. They've learned this on their own so that they can help the trans community. And I think we should just, before anybody sits and wants to play into that, oh, I heard this and heard that, it's just hearsay, and you're just causing a bigger drama in the community than's necessary. So people, if those of us who've had surgery, those of us who have met with the doctors, whether it be Crane, Chen, the guys doing the phalloplasties, listen to your gut feeling. If you don't care for the person, they don't hit you personality wise, go look for another doctor. Don't be so needy that you get the first whack and you don't do your homework, or you don't prepare yourself for it. This is an intense surgery. Your body is asked to take on a foreign body and to allow it to function on your body. So just be careful, guys. I don't like to hear any doctors badmouth unless they're really don't need to be a doctor, and that's when you really need to fight and pull together and try to jerk their license. But anyway, so everything's doing good. I had erection device, implants, and rod last June with Dr. Chan. Fantastic job. Couldn't ask for a better job. I healed and responded really well to the surgery. I allowed him to choose the size of the testicular implants according to the room I had, and he did so, and I have mediums, and they fit, and I've had no issues with them. I did not lose anything. Everything's healed well. So I'm on the road. I probably will not do any more updates on the phalloplasty, but if you do have questions, you can continue to write me, personal message me on the discussion panel here on our sites, and I'd be happy to go over whatever you need. But just remember that the bottom line is that it's our responsibility to check into research what we want done, look at the complications and the rates, and also to follow the instructions of the doctors. If they tell you to quit smoking 30 days before, quit smoking 30 days before. And just remember, if you can't do it, if you literally can't do it, you can't blame the outcome. So I have seen where people haven't quit smoking and they've had some complications and it didn't turn out exactly how they wanted to. So guys, be careful, be honest with yourselves, and listen to your gut, and take it one day at a time, and always make your journey as simple as possible. And I'll add some photos to the end of this. Alright, bye guys.